Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is more informational for the spouses who are looking to move to Kunsan, more specifically non-command sponsored. To go somewhere else that is dependent restricted might have the same kind of process, but I'm speaking more of my experience coming to Kunsan. So yeah, if you're going somewhere other than Kunsan, non-command sponsored, just ask more questions to people in that area. So if you would like to know how to come and live at Kunsan Air Base, non-command sponsored, because your spouse's orders say dependent restricted, then just keep watching. But number one is there's two ways to come here, and that goes for visiting or just coming to live. Of course, you can fly Space A, which flies out of Seattle. I think that's the only port, I'm pretty sure, and it's kind of like a hit or miss. You put your name on a list to hopefully get on a flight, and if you don't make it, you have to make sure you have the money to either pay for a hotel and wait for the next flight you could possibly get on, or have the money to purchase a ticket for a commercial flight if you're trying to fly out on that exact day. I didn't take that route because I was coming from Germany, so I flew commercial through British Airways. But I have heard of several people coming here through Space A, but they don't come directly to Kunsan. They go to the Osan passenger terminal. You can find more information on traveling Space A on the Korea Tour Support on Facebook. They have a lot of information in their files, so make sure you check that out if you want to do Space A, since I cannot speak on that. I don't know. So after you get here, you have to figure out where you're gonna stay. You are allotted 30 days in the dorms with your spouse most of the time. You just have to go through the paperwork process, which is getting permission from his 3 quad mates, just so they know you're going to be in there. And you can sometimes ask for a bigger bed if they have a twin. You can get a full for the time you're there. Yeah, so you can stay in the dorms, or you can stay at Dreamville, which is where I am. If you saw my last video, I gave a tour of the unit I'm in right now. It's probably the most ideal thing, since if you're trying to live here. It's very close to base, most convenient. My husband is allowed to live here with me, come home every night. So to start up the Dreamville, it takes 90 days to get the OHA processed, so to get switched over. So the first 3 months, 90 days, are out of pocket, and it's about I think it's like $1,400 per month, but you get utilities included. You can get your room cleaned by the cleaning service once a week. You get a washer, and it's fully furnished. And the lady is really nice. Her name is Miss Rosa. You can email her. They also have a Facebook page. You just search for Dreamville in Korea. They have 2 units. One's a single, and the only thing that's different is, well, obviously there's only 1 room, and there's no oven. So you just have the 2 gas burners on top. There's just no oven. So we originally were moved into there, and then I was like, I need an oven. If you're looking to live here long term, this is the most ideal, unless, which is my next topic, you can get a teaching job if you have a bachelor's degree. You can look on the elscafe.com. I'll leave that link down below. They usually have a lot of jobs posted for the area. Some jobs will provide you an apartment, so you don't really have to pay for it. They give it to you to live in. But most of the time, like, it's not convenient for the spouse, because I think they have to be a staff sergeant to be able to drive, but you can drive. It's just Dreamville is more convenient because it's right off base. My husband rides his bike to and from work, has no problem getting on base, and yeah. So Dreamville, if you're gonna stay here. When you go through the immigration coming from the airport, you get a 90-day tourist visa stamp in your passport, but you have to make sure you go to immigration, which is like 10 minutes away or 20 minutes away, depending on which transportation you take, away in the city at the immigration office. You just have to make sure you go there with your orders, and I think you have to take your husband or your spouse to get the SOFA stamp so you can stay here longer than 90 days. Next thing is the transportation. We use, since we don't have a car, we use the bus, city bus, which is very cheap. It's only 1,300 won per way. So like as far as you want to go, as far as that bus will take you, it's 1,300 won, which is like $1, maybe around $1. It's really inconvenient sometimes if you're on a time crunch. You have to allot yourself extra time because of all the stops it makes. So if you're trying to go from Dreamville to like Latte Mart, which is in one of my previous vlogs, it's like the big mall around here, or just the city area, it's about a 45-minute bus ride. So you have to give yourself that extra hour-ish to get there. But also you can take a taxi. The base has taxis. If you're staying on base or want to get on base from the city or wherever, they will come and pick you up. They have an app and a number. For us, coming from Dreamville to the same place the bus will take us, Latte Mart, it's about a 20-minute ride and about 12,000 to 13,000 won, which is, I just say it's $12, even though it's probably a little less. That's the more convenient way. It's faster. Yeah, so you just have to budget for that. If you're trying to save money, definitely go the bus route. I have a friend who lives here who takes the bus to and from work every day, so it's very possible. You just have to make sure you give yourself enough time. The last thing that I think that you should know is that in order to shop in the commissary or the BX by yourself without your spouse or the active duty, you have to get a ration card, which is very easy. All you have to do is go with your spouse to security forces building and get your ID registered. You have to get your ID registered or they're gonna be annoying at the gate, like that you have to get a visitor's pass. So make sure you get your ID registered, and then you also just say, I want the ration card too, and then it takes a few minutes. It took me a couple days because their system was down, and yeah, so it makes it a lot easier. I can go to the commissary and get go grocery shopping without him while he's at work. So if you guys have any more questions or anything, you can reach out to me. I always respond to comments on here. There is a few spouses here already. There's two that I know that I hang out with all the time, have kids. So don't feel like you don't have anybody to ask. I know there's a lot of people who think that it is very impossible to move here and that it's against the rules. The only reason why they say Kunsan is like not dependent friendly is because they don't have housing and means to support dependents. So if you have a kid and they get sick, you either have to go to Osan, which is like 3 hours away, or you go to the economy. But I've heard that's very inexpensive. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask me. If I don't know the answer, I will find the answer for you. Or you can like the page if you haven't already, the Korea Tour Support on Facebook, and that's very helpful. But yeah, you shouldn't have to go a year without your husband if you don't want to. So if you need anything else, just let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye.